Yesterday, I had somebody ask me, Chevy, what is one thing you did that helped you to begin working towards becoming your higher self? And the first thing that came to mind was dropping my ego. I laughed a little bit because ego is a big one that I used to struggle with a lot, as many of us do, because we don't realize that there is positive ego and then there's negative ego. But most of the time we operate out of our negative ego because ego is for protection, but a lot of the times it keeps us defensive. And so I realized that ego is nothing more than an instigator. It will literally have you thinking that the world got you effed up. So anytime somebody says something to you, you think you got to respond because they got you effed up. Anytime you think a man trying to play you, you got to let him know you ain't about to play me because you got me effed up. It literally just makes you feel like you got to try to catch everything. And then you got to realize that you can't control other people, their behaviors, things that come out of their mouth. You have no control over anything but yourself. And so the moment I dropped my ego, I became less defensive. I became less combative because now I want to listen to learn. Having too much ego can hinder you from growth because you think you know it all. Ego is just something that I not completely, but something that I work towards every day of getting rid of. Hence the reason I'm not easily offended. If you are easily offended, you are easily manipulated. If you are easily offended, you are operating out of weakness and it drains you of your energy. It's just weak energy. So dropping ego was number one for me. Bragging, something else that's attached to ego. The moment I began to drop my ego, I began to brag less. Sure, I got credentials, achievements, certificates, degrees. I'm a business owner. I make money. But I realized that bragging is unattractive. You don't have to sit and brag about the things that you have going for yourself. When you are a person that's not seeking validation, you are able to move around a little bit more freely because you're not looking for applause from everybody. If you live by the applause, you will die by the boos. So bragging is something that I learned to just not do as much, unless somebody take it there with me. Thinking that you're better than other people is also tied to ego. When you are a person that has natural leadership skills, you do not have to act as if you're better than other people. The only person that you need to be trying to be better than is the person that you used to be. That's it, that's all. So a person that knows that they are in a great position, they seek to help others. They look to try to see where can I help the next person become successful. They're not using their success to make other people look at them as superior. That's just not a good look. So I don't really try to carry myself as though I'm better than other people. If anything, I get up here and try to give information and I try to help people in the community in real life so that I'm able to help create other successful people. I don't want to be the only one at the top. Realizing that you're not always right ties into dropping your ego. Ego is tied to conflict, and it literally will lead you into pointless debates, pointless conversations, pointless arguments. You are being combative because you got this strong need to try to prove that you're right and you know what you're talking about. It. Man, let these people have it. Let them have it. Even when you know somebody is not right, let them have it. Because you get to a point where you realize that it's a bigger flex to flex your humility than it is to flex your ego. Let them have it. Ego does nothing but block growth. Let them have it. Last but not least for me, it was letting go of control. That need of trying to control everything, man, I used to try to control every little thing in my life. I used to try to control other people because I wanted people to be a certain way. And I used to just try to control stuff until I realized that it was much better to just micromanage the things in my life. And whatever I got control over is what I have control over. I had to realize that I technically don't have control over anything except myself. Self-control is the only control that I have. And so now I just let the universe do its big one. I let people do what they want to do. They're not going to hear me nagging. You're not going to hear me complaining. You're not going to hear me trying to tell you what to do. I let people do what they want to do so that they can show me what they would rather do. I don't want to control nothing but myself. So for me, dropping ego is just what began to put me closer to my higher self. My higher self, she's happier, she's less defensive, she's less combative. She doesn't feel the need to be right all the time. She doesn't have to jump in the comment section and argue with people. She doesn't have to let people know that they're wrong about her when they don't know her. She doesn't have to let people know about all of her accomplishments unless they really push a big button. I don't know, she smiles more. She's a little bit more feminine. Yeah, I'm a little rough around the edges still, but I'm a lot more closer to femininity than I've probably ever been. Dropping ego just works. You know, it helps me to want to learn. It helps me to want to be my best self. So if you are looking to want to start your process on becoming your best self, drop that ego. Now, I ain't gonna say drop it, harmonize with it. You don't want to drop ego. You want to harmonize with your ego. You still need it to be there, but you need to be in control of your ego. Don't let your ego be in control of you.